Welcome everyone to Biz Talk. I am your host for today, Jilcy Sanchez, and do we have a treat for you? We are going to present Jake Linville, and I wanted to welcome Jake. First of all, how are you doing, Jake? Welcome to the show.
Good. How are you, Josie?
I'm doing awesome. I'm very excited about today's show and all the information that you have for us today. But I wanted to tell you more about Jake. Jake is a certified public accountant that specializes in providing expert guidance tailored to the need of businesses and individuals. With extensive experience in controllership, public accounting, income tax, cost accounting, and software implementation, he is uniquely positioned to assist any size business in achieving financial goals. Jake is passionate about implementing and integrating cost-effective software solutions that significantly impact financial operations, while adding effective controls that mitigate risk and reduce cost. He brings a valuable blend of knowledge and experience, making him an ideal partner for businesses seeking to enhance their financial health, operations, and success. You are going to wonder before today, how did I ever grow my business without Jake? So I am so happy to have you once again, Jake. And I wanted to jump in. So our topic for today is going to be growth and scaling. Right? And if we're businesses, this is something that we want to do constantly. We do not want to stay in one spot for a long time. So at what point should I consider hiring additional staff or outsourcing tasks like bookkeeping or marketing or other things that are going to help my business grow?
I would say immediately, because you likely aren't going into the bookkeeping business or the marketing business. So I wouldn't say immediately outsource your bookkeeping, outsource your marketing, outsource anything that you are not focused on doing, so that you can focus on what you do best and let folks like me do what I do best. The gig economy right now is fantastic for small businesses. If you need one small thing done, like a logo, or if you need bookkeeping or your bookkeeping cleaned up, you can find folks like me. You can go on Fiverr, you can go on all these other gig websites and get it done for a reasonable cost, and you don't have to hire somebody full time.
Absolutely. And this was just something that came up. I have a virtual assistant service. So absolutely delegating is something that you need to do. And I say, if you're an accountant, you do that. If you don't do marketing, then you need to hire that one out. Whatever is not your specialty, then you have people that can absolutely do it better than you, faster than you, giving you the time to do what you do best. So I absolutely agree that that needs to happen from the beginning. But another thing is, how do I approach financing options for scaling my business, such as maybe loans or venture capital? What can you say about this?
So if you have a 401k, I would highly recommend you consider what is called a ROBS 401k. It's ROBS. And I'll be clear here. The IRS isn't a big fan of them, but there are folks out there that specialize in managing the ROBS 401k. And so what it allows you to do is take your 401k funds and invest them in your venture as equity. And so your 401k for your business will own 100% or however much percent of your business. That's, from my perspective, the quickest way to get access to cash. That's if you have a 401k. Now, if you consider a loan or venture capital, both of those have positive sides and negative sides. So if you are going to get a loan, make sure before you get the loan, or before you even go to ask for the loan, make sure that you can reliably make the debt service payments on whatever amount of loan you want to make. And in order to do that, you may need to work with a CPA such as myself. You don't want to put yourself in a bind where you have to choose between making the loan payment or paying your payroll. And secondly, with getting a loan, usually you'll get one with a bank, and a lot of times they'll put covenants on your loan. So what a covenant usually is a financial obligation that you have to report on to the bank. Like you have to keep X amount of dollars in a bank account that you can't touch, so
Mhm.
that in case you don't pay your loan back, they can access that. Or you've got to submit your financial statements every so often, or you've got to meet certain ratios. Your debt can't be more than a certain amount of your assets, etc. So a lot of times loans come with strings attached, and so if you're okay with that, great. But I would highly recommend you hire your CPA to make sure that you can meet those obligations and then also report on them, because you don't want to spend your time doing that. But venture capital, that's another one. I would consider that to be a little bit more risky, if you will, than a loan. And this is why, because in venture capital, you end up giving up a portion of your business. You give
Mhm.
away your baby
Mhm.
to people that you don't really know. And there's a couple different personality types for venture capitalists out there. Sometimes they're going to want to come in and rework your entire organization. They're going to get up in your business, and you don't want that usually. There's a reason why you went into business for yourself, is to
Yeah.
be your own boss. And two, the one that you do want is one that will allow you to do what you do best, and they'll just provide the capital, and they'll want to report every once in a while. Those are the kind of venture capitalists that you want to have on your team. If they're going to be all up in your business and cause you more work, you don't even want to bother with that.
Absolutely. And it's that you need to weigh the pros and cons and see what is going to get you to where you need to be with the lower amount of risk, I guess. But in the interest of growing, what are the financials milestone that I should aim for when I'm planning the growth of my business? Is there a specific thing that I need to hit before I say, well, I'll go to the next step, or what is it that I need to have?
Well, I would say first and foremost, the one thing that you need to plan for the most is make it past your first year, because if you do that, you're going to beat about 18% of all new businesses. And then secondly, and this is more of a long-term goal, make it past 10 years. If you get past 10 years, you're going to beat about 50% of new businesses. But first and foremost, before you go into business, it's always best to put together a business plan.
Mm-hmm.
That way you can specify, okay, at this point, if I meet these goals, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. I'm going to buy this equipment. I'm going to do other things. But in that business plan, you need to understand your unit economics. And when I say that is, if you're an inventory related business or a manufacturing related business or even a service related business, each unit of your business. So if you're selling a widget, how much does it cost for each widget? What's your profit margin for each widget? How much does it
I see.
cost you to collect money for each widget? But to answer your question, the goals that I would set are after, in your business plan. Make sure you get at least $1,000 in savings, and when you've got that, work towards getting $10,000 in savings. And after you've got that, make sure that you've got 2 months of cash on hand, and then six. I'm a big fan of Dave Ramsey, and I love his principles where you just make sure you have enough cash on hand to meet your
I see.
expenses.
Your minimum. Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Jake. We have to go, unfortunately. If you can tell us really quick where to find you.
Sure, you can find me on bookmycpa.com. You can also find us at 406-480-6622. We're on Twitter, Facebook, all those fun things, and LinkedIn. I look forward to helping you.
Thank you so much, Jake. We'll be right back.